United Community Bank, the bank that's service-built. CBS 46 News at noon starts now.
Donald Trump is in Atlanta today campaigning for your vote. This is a live look right now inside of the Fox Theater where Trump will take the stage at any minute. You can see that Herman Cain is on the stage right now.
Here at CBS 46, we have you covered from all angles. Right now, another live look. This is outside of the Fox. The rally is drawing a group protesting, and police are monitoring the crowds.
And our team has you covered from the air as well. We're keeping an eye on the traffic and the growing crowds. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Passoff.
And I'm Sharon Reed. We have team coverage for you. As we said this afternoon, Donald Trump speaking at the Fox Theater. Let's go inside right now to the Fox, where Vince Sims is awaiting Trump to take the stage. Vince.
Yes, we are live here inside the Fox Theater where they are having speakers right now. There's been about 45 minutes of speakers going. They started about 11:15. Right now on the stage, as you just mentioned moments ago, is Herman Cain. He is speaking, getting the crowd rallied up for Donald Trump to be speaking. He is supposed to speak around noon. Of course, we will have that for you when that happens. This is truly a rally. There's been a lot of cheering. There's been a lot of key things, points, words said that gets the crowd stirred up. There's a lot of banners that they have in here. They say silent majority stands with Trump, veterans for Trump. So this is the crowd. The Fox Theater is full. It's not completely full. There are still some open seats in here, but there is a large crowd inside. But again, Herman Cain is speaking right now, getting the crowd fired up. He actually ran for the Republican nomination back in 2012, so he is speaking. But again, we're inside. Donald Trump is expected to take the stage around noon here shortly, so of course we will have it for you. We'll bring a complete wrap-up of what the people here are wanting to hear from Trump and what they actually do hear from him. I'll have all that coming up for you. Reporting live inside the Fox Theater, Vince Sims, CBS 46 News.
All right, thank you, Vince. And our team coverage continues right now with Daniel Wilkerson.
Daniel's live outside the Fox Theater. And Daniel, what are you seeing in the way of protesters there?
Hi, Kim and Sharon. The city of Atlanta had expected more traffic and more people. Take a look. Just in the last 30 minutes, we have seen the crowd grow out here. The city had originally planned on closing a portion of Peachtree Street here in front of the Fox Theater. Well, they didn't have to do that, but as at every Donald Trump rally, there were a few opinions in the crowd.
I came to hear Donald.
And Jimmy DeKalb is not alone.
I think he says what a lot of people think.
You can't vote for a Democrat, so what you gonna do?
A long line of Trump supporters arrived hours before the Republican nominee hopeful arrived.
My family owns a small business, and ever since Barack Obama got elected, we've had to cut 4 employees.
Well, no offense to you, but I like the fact that he sticks it to the media, as I think, not Channel 46, obviously, but the national media is very dishonest.
Because he is a businessman who can get us out of debt.
I just really support Trump. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't have a gun. My husband's Cuban. I love immigrants. I want the world to know that there's not just one or two type of people that support Trump.
Tickets were free, but to get them, you had to go on Trump's campaign site. And what would a Donald Trump rally be without a few protesters?
He talked about how I have a lot of gay friends. I just happen to be more of a traditionalist, like he's saying, yeah, you can be gay, like whatever, I don't care about it, but I'm not going to support it.
We don't support this. We don't support hate. We don't support segregation. We don't support racism. We don't support anti-feminism. This man does nothing but propagate hate in every word he speaks. And it's a joke that he's even remotely able to run for presidency.
Earlier when the line started forming, someone came out, I'm guessing from the Trump campaign, and told everyone out here that if they saw hecklers inside, not to engage them. Sharon?
And Daniel, at other Trump rallies in other states, of course, we have seen fights in the past. What's been the mood today out there? Because so far, mostly peaceful, yes?
We only saw some yelling back and forth across the street. Of course, they had the protesters on one side, the Trump supporters on the other side. Things got loud for just a second, but certainly nothing that rose to the point of a fight. We're live in Atlanta. Daniel Wilkerson, CBS 46 News.
All right, thank you, Daniel. And as we told you earlier, CBS 46 has you covered from the air on the Donald Trump rally. Let's go live now to the CBS 46 chopper, where reporter Chris Lucas is keeping an eye on the traffic around the theater. Chris?
Well, we've got good news for lunchtime for people in the Midtown area. Originally, the Atlanta police had planned to have Peachtree Street here in front of the Fox Theater shut down between Ponce de Leon and 3rd Street. But again, those number of crowds, as Daniel said, for the protesters did not materialize, and they're all behaving pretty well, sticking to the sidewalks on opposite sides of the street as those people continue to file into the Fox Theater for the Donald Trump event here at the Fox. So the good news in downtown, no big traffic delays as you're headed through the city. In downtown, I'm Chris Lucas, Chopper 46.
Chris, thank you. Donald Trump started the day off at a private fundraiser in the Buckhead area this morning. It was held at the home of Atlanta business giant who founded Aaron's Rentals. Megan Packer picks up the story from here and has more on the big names that were there, including Governor Nathan Deal.
It was a private invitation-only breakfast fundraiser. It was held here at the home of businessman Charlie Loudermilk. Donald Trump's motorcade arrived around 8 o'clock this morning for the private fundraising event. Earlier in the morning, people on the exclusive guest list made their way inside for a chance to get close to and take photos with the presumptive Republican nominee. Governor Nathan Deal was among those who welcomed Trump to Georgia. Home Depot co-founder Bernie Marcus also helped host the event. CBS 46 learned the entry-level attendance went for $2,700. Other donation prices range from $25,000 to $100,000. Morning traffic did not seem to be interrupted for people in the neighborhood.
I think the guy is dynamic. I think he's going to bring a whole new open option to America in terms of politics, in terms of economics.
Senator David Perdue was originally scheduled to be there but ended up not attending. He released a statement that said, in part, "Wish I could be at today's event to welcome Mr. Trump to the Peach State." Unfortunately, the United States Senate is debating critical legislation right now that could negatively impact Georgia's water supply. Perdue offered his support to Trump and says he will do everything he can to get him elected. Megan Packer, CBS 46 News.
And today's rally comes after police arrested protesters last night in North Carolina at a Trump rally. The crowd got rowdy outside, while inside Trump was celebrating his birthday. Trump also took time to attack his rival Hillary Clinton following the terror attack in Orlando.
She's no friend of women, and she's no friend of LGBT Americans. No friend, believe me.
Meanwhile, a new Bloomberg Politics poll shows Clinton with a 12-point lead nationally over Trump. And we'll continue to have live team coverage on Donald Trump's rally at the Fox Theater. If anything happens during our show, we will be sure to bring it to you. You can also look for a full wrap-up of the day's events starting at this afternoon at 4.
Now to the latest developments out of Orlando. We are learning more today about the shooter's actions in the days leading up to that deadly rampage at a gay nightclub. Kenneth Craig has the latest from Orlando.
Investigators say Noor Salman knew her husband Omar Mateen wanted to commit a terror act, and investigators say she told them she went to the Pulse nightclub with her husband on at least one occasion and tried to convince him not to go through with the attack. CBS News has learned Mateen went to work as a security guard in a gated community on the day of the shooting. As he gunned down innocent victims at the gay bar, they say Mateen not only called 911, he also went on Facebook declaring his allegiance to ISIS, and he called a local TV station.
Morning. Good morning. Do you have a badge?
Documentary footage shows Mateen working as a security guard in 2010. The material is from the 2012 documentary, The Big Fix, about the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico.
Prosecutors are considering whether to charge Mateen's wife. So far, there is no evidence she called police to warn them about her husband's plan here.
Officials in Orlando set up a family assistance center for victims and their loved ones.
You can come in and then go to the places where you think you might need either legal help or counseling help or help with travel or help with funeral arrangements.
Many of the wounded remain hospitalized. Patience Carter and her friends were held hostage in a bathroom.
I could see piles of bodies laying over the toilet seat and slumped over, and the bottom of the toilet was just covered with handprints and blood.
She and one of her friends survived. Their friend, 18-year-old Akira Murray, did not. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Orlando.
And this afternoon, Atlanta police are now investigating a threat made online towards two popular gay bars. Police saying someone wrote this on Twitter, quote, 10 or Blake's could be the next Orlando. We are working with police to find out if they believe this is a credible threat. You can donate to the victims of the Orlando shooting. Learn how by visiting CBS46.com. We have the story inside the big blue box. It's right at the top of our homepage. Ken?
This afternoon, a DeKalb County Police Department employee faces criminal charges. Investigators say Shirley Waters was an aide with the DeKalb County Police Department's auto theft unit. She had access to vehicle accident information and is accused of selling it to Reginald Jenkins. Investigators say that Jenkins used that information to contact victims and offer them legal services. New details this afternoon in a rape investigation at South Gwinnett High School. Snellville police say that the rape of a 16-year-old student was recorded. 17-year-old Cameron Richard was arrested and charged with rape and possession of child pornography. 3 other juvenile students were also charged with rape. Police say that the incident happened in a parking lot off of Skyland Drive, not far from the high school. According to police, the 5 students left school to go do drugs. Could a fingerprint stand between you and a low-cost ride home from the airport? New information on the vote that could make that happen.
Alligator attack at Disney World Resort. Officials, they are frantically searching for a missing little boy.
And that heat finally set to retreat. The timing changes ahead and any rain chances in my hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
And we leave you now with a live look inside the Fox Theater where Donald Trump is holding his rally right now. Welcome back. This is a live look inside of Donald Trump's rally at the Fox Theater going on right now. He is set to take the stage at any minute, and we will have a live coverage, complete wrap-up of today's rally for you this afternoon, starting at 4.
New at noon, Atlanta City Council President Cesar Mitchell just announced he is running for mayor. If elected, he would be the city's 60th mayor. Mayor Kasim Reed cannot run for re-election due to term limits. Reed's second term ends next year. And the debate that has been brewing for the last several months about allowing ride-sharing services at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport continues. Ayanna Crystal is at Atlanta City Hall with the latest.
Uber drivers walked out of Atlanta City Hall disappointed after weeks of debates about the ride-sharing services. The Transportation Committee told us today that they are not voting on this today or Monday. Uber drivers packed the house at Atlanta City Hall this morning in hopes for the Transportation Committee to vote in favor of allowing them to pick up passengers at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. The main issue is limo and cab drivers must be fingerprinted to pick up passengers at the airport, but Uber and Lyft don't. They conduct their own versions of driver safety checks, which do not include fingerprinting. Now, Uber says their background checks are sufficient. The Transportation Committee has had work sessions with experts and have had public hearings to hear both sides, but they were still not ready to vote on the ground transportation services proposal today.
We're not going to take it up Monday either.
The Uber drivers have been involved every step of the way and are disappointed the Transportation Committee has not made a decision.
It's a little disappointing. This is my 4th time here, and there have been several other meetings that Uber has been involved with the City Council Transportation Committee, and it seems to me that they could, it's not a large decision, you know, it's like a yes or a no or whatever, and they could get through with it and get it done with. So I don't know, it just seems a little inefficient.
And they just stalling, man. I don't know what they're doing in there, man. This is my 2nd time, though.
Dozens of Uber drivers walked away frustrated, but they tell me they remain hopeful. They will continue to come to these meetings in hopes for a resolution. Reporting at Atlanta City Hall, Ayanna Crystal, CBS 46 News.
Developing this afternoon, a new multi-million-dollar project is in the works to help with traffic around the new Braves Stadium. The major concern focuses on the intersection of Cobb Parkway and Windy Hill Road. Cobb County Commissioners voted yesterday to approve adding an extra turn lane in all directions. It will cost more than $5 million. The DOT's director explains why that price tag is so high.
There's just so much construction going on, really. It's the reason that we've have had higher construction prices come in on almost every project.
The state will cover $2 million of the project. The county will pick up the rest. It is supposed to be done by early 2018.
To another developing story now, where a Disney vacation has turned to sheer horror for a family from Nebraska. All of this after an alligator dragged away their 2-year-old little boy. Don Champion is in Lake Buena Vista, Florida, with the latest.
Crews searching for the missing 2-year-old snatched into a lake by an alligator admit time is not on their side.
Hope is dimming with every hour, but we're still holding out some hope, even if it's small.
The boy has not been seen since 9:30 Tuesday night when he was playing in shallow water at the Seven Seas Lagoon at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. The boy's parents and another young sibling were there as the horror unfolded.
The father was standing nearby when the alligator attacked the child. The father then went into the water and tried to wrestle the small child from the grip of the alligator.
Do not swim signs are posted in the area. Disney has closed all resort beaches out of an abundance of caution.
We've already taken 4 alligators and looked at those alligators and determined right now we couldn't find any evidence that they were involved.
The family from Nebraska had been staying at the luxury resort for a few days. A spokesman for Disney said the resort is devastated and doing what it can for the family. The timing of the tragedy has left the Orlando community reeling.
I can't comprehend what any of this would be like as a parent, losing my child, my 20-year-old at the Pulse, or my 2-year-old.
Search officials say there's never been an alligator attack like this at Disney. Don Champion, CBS News, Lake Buena Vista, Florida.
And now in its 15th hour, we have just learned from officials that it is no longer a search and rescue mission. It has just been updated to a recovery effort.
Certified Atlanta's most accurate forecast for the 2nd year in a row. Now CBS 46 meteorologist Jim Losnicka.
Well, we want to turn to the weather now. It was a hot day yesterday. Some big storms out there as well.
Will we see more rain today?
We're flirting with it right now. There are a couple of light showers in western Georgia trying to roll into Atlanta. So this afternoon between 2 and 5 o'clock, you want to keep that rain gear handy. But if you're not out in the rain, you want to have sunglasses and short sleeve shirts because temperatures already in the middle to upper 80s here, and another warm day of temperatures on tap around Atlanta. A close-in view of Atlanta's Doppler radar has a couple of light showers now skirting the area between Alpharetta and, say, East Cobb here. So just some light rain at this point, staying near Dallas and down near Douglasville. Now, as the day wears on, the heat stays with us. Next hour up to 87, but by 3 to 5 o'clock, a few rumbles of thunder in the mix. And as the rain rolls in, temperatures will be rain-cooled for some areas, back down middle 80s by 5 today. But I think today's drive back home at 5 much easier than it was yesterday. In fact, the hour-by-hour forecast starting at 2 o'clock shows most of the significant weather south and west of Atlanta through the afternoon. So here we are at 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Overall, pretty quiet. Now, there's another round of weather coming in tonight while we sleep. Right here, this band of rain on our western and northwest doorstep rolls through after midnight. It's gone tomorrow morning, so most of us should be on the quiet side again tomorrow. And tomorrow, a whole lot drier. All the big rain's way down south of us, and that's all part of a bigger change coming, which first off includes less rain, but also means a change of temperatures, much cooler weather, if you will, coming in for the weekend. So to outline those changes, storms today from about 1 to 5, best timing. Very little, if any, tomorrow or Friday, so I've got the forecast dry both of those days, but hot temperatures back in the middle 90s tomorrow and Friday. Cold front arrives Saturday, and dare I say cooler. It'll be cool in the morning in the 60s. Afternoon temperatures pretty seasonable in the middle 80s, but at least a nice run of sunshine. And your weekend forecast looking great at this point. It will be seasonable with a gusty wind and dry weather forecast for both Saturday and Sunday. Kim and Sharon?
Not bad. Thank you, Jim. Open Records requests for documents. Why our Just a Minute contributor says the Obama administration is playing a game of cat and mouse that hurts you.
At another live look for you inside the Fox Theater, Donald Trump is here in Atlanta, expected to take the stage shortly. Our crews are in place. They will monitor the presumptive nominees' comments as the day rolls on. We'll be right back.
Opinions expressed during Just a Minute are not necessarily those of CBS 46 News or its employees.
This afternoon, Just a Minute commentator Joyce Oscar is calling out the Obama administration. She says they're playing cat and mouse with Open Records requests, and she says the real loser in this game is you, the taxpayer. The Obama administration's vow to be the most transparent in U.S. history is again running amok for the third time this year, I might add. This time involving unsubstantiated global warming data. Open records requests for data rarely result in a discovery order by a judge because the government is given the benefit of the doubt when it says it tried to search for and release documents. Not anymore. A federal judge finding severe oversights and bad faith by the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy for its refusal to release documents backing up its claims global warming was making winters colder, a claim questioned by climate scientists. First, staffers said they couldn't find many documents. Then they tried to hide their release, saying they were similar to already public documents. All lies. The judge ruling this case has crossed the threshold. My guess, until these bureaucrats are held in contempt of court, fined, fired, or lose their licenses to practice law, nothing will change, and the taxpayer will continue to foot the legal costs. I'm Joyce Oscar.
Joyce is the co-author of 2 novels. To learn more, visit her website at gracegleasonfiles.com.
Our next Just a Minute segment airs tonight on CBS 46 News at 5. Get a new perspective on the hot topics of the day every weeknight at 5:57.
And stay with us. The news at noon continues next. And another live look for you. Donald Trump is in town live look inside the Fox Theater where he is set to take the stage. We will monitor his comments. And of course, we have team coverage for you. CBS 46 Live outside of the Fox. Protesters have gathered so far, though. Nothing violent. It's been peaceful as folks make their voices heard. We'll be right back. Storms expected to roll in late this afternoon. One last look at the afternoon forecast. Jim Losnica has that for us.
And it will be hot before that weather rolls in. Sharon, temperatures once again back up in the 90s for most areas, except where it may be rain cooled briefly into the 80s.